we were together, to all the time we were apart of each other's lives, heart to heart. And so I
Back
had
outside,
a late
back
rival, so we never saw the start
I want to say first of all,
of
do
each
appreciate the
other's
support,
lives,
appreciate the gratitude given, the
heart to
appreciation.
heart,
I appreciate the appreciation, all that good stuff.
heart to
Over
heart.
here we have a nice little lake we're chilling at.
Heart to heart,
I believe I've been here before on stream, but do it once more,
heart
why
to
not?
heart,
So last night, or I suppose this morning,
heart to
I
heart,
sleep as I usually don't. I managed to actually
oh,
get
it
to sleep a little
seems
bit
so
with
quick and easy,
Primrose, late Primrose, evening Primrose.
sentimentally
Good
soon,
times on the YouTube side, even though, you know, the awareness still
walking
makes it very
parallels,
uncomfortable to actually listen to, actually delve too deep
heart
into
to
chat.
heart,
It's always gotta be all about the Koopa, right? But
to all the days we were
I can relax and not take
together,
it too seriously. It's fine. Still able to get a few
to
hours.
all the time
Few
we
hours
played
as well.
apart
That was cool. That was cool.
in each other's lives,
I do need to figure out how to get to sleep by myself though one of these days.
heart to
But yeah,
heart,
after that stream, I did find
heart to heart,
a really good video that explains a lot of why I am like I am.
heart to
So
heart,
I wanted to go through that real quick, if I can with you guys, if you'll indulge me for a
heart
little
to
bit.
heart,
So this is by Embracing the Dark. It is a channel that I just recently found
heart to heart,
over here at the bottom.
Did you know the Walmart app
And this one, it's very insightful in the way
has over
that
half a
he
billion items?
talks about
Jeff
being
knew.
a deep thinker.
Now
I
this
feel
girl
like if
dad's
you're on
flying
this
incredibly
channel,
close
you're
to
probably
the
a little
sun.
bit of a deep thinker,
Picture this.
just as
It's-
I am. And perhaps this will speak to you a little bit as well, give you a little bit of clarity as to why we do what we do. But this is a little 15-minute video that I hope you appreciate. I really appreciated it last night. It gave me some clarity that I needed, a little bit more aware of, you know, why I do the things that I do, why I generally like disconnect a lot. You know, I very comfortable just deleting accounts apparently when the pressure gets too much or the emotions ride up too much. And I'm very comfortable lurking in a lot of social situations, you know, parties and things like that. It's well, he'll get into it, but yeah, I felt like this would be a good one to talk about from yesterday, because I was feeling very heavy yesterday, and I don't like to give that energy out without sort of giving you something to hold on to with it. And it's kind of crazy because this one actually did release yesterday as well. I'm noticing a lot of things like that, you know, just happening where they're very congruent with what is going on in my life, and I try to not, you know, get too conceited or get too big of a head and be like, it's all happening around me for me, because I really don't have any pull, guys. I only have like 150 people here. It's not a crazy thing. Now, I know we have been growing fast. I do know starting a YouTube channel, well, it's not like I really started, but you know, giving a great output to a YouTube channel, you really should not have this kind of growth in like basically under a year. But it's consistency, it's action, and I feel like I know who I'm talking to. So that's another part that really cements the fact that the growth will continue. You know, you got to know your audience, right? So yeah, we will listen to this, and then I'll give you guys a little view of the lake that we're chilling at here. Hope everybody's having a good morning. I will be back again at around 5 or 6 maybe. Probably with some IRL. I might do gaming as far as the app goes. You know, the Dragon Quest X app. And we might do some cosplays, because I do need to switch it up I did about 3 episodes of the MSQ yesterday, so I wanna change the cosplays up so I have different things to work with for our 4.5 as we finish off version 4 and get into the demon realm. Okay, so let's go ahead and start this up.
Picture this. It's late. Everyone has finally left, or you've finally left them. The door closes behind you. The noise stops. And then something happens inside your chest. Something unclenches. It's not relief from danger. Nobody was threatening you. The people around you were perfectly fine, probably. They were laughing, talking, asking questions, sharing opinions, doing what humans do. And yet the moment you are alone, your whole body exhales like it just put down a very, very heavy bag. Most people would look at that and say, that's sad. You should get out more. Because for the average person, and let's be honest about the average person for us.
Yeah, and I don't really go to parties too much anymore, but I really do feel a relief when, you know, I can hit that lurk button and get out of the sight of chat. So I just don't like looking at it. I really don't. It's way too like parasocial, antisocial, social, a fictitious realm of connection, you know. It pulls a huge weight off of me to just ignore it, mostly. Yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, I don't go to parties anymore. I used to a lot, actually, but I don't go to parties anymore.
Second, solitude feels like punishment. It feels like rejection wearing a robe. Silence to them is the universe's way of saying, nobody wanted you around today. But that's not what you feel. Not even close. For you, for the kind of mind this video is about, being alone doesn't feel empty. It feels like clarity returning. Like your brain just got permission to stop performing and start actually thinking. The greatest events, they are not our loudest but our stillest hours. Friedrich Nietzsche. So here is the question, and stay with it, because it goes deeper than it sounds. What if solitude isn't escape? What if it's the only place where your mind can actually function fully? What if everyone telling you to go be social is just wrong? Not about people in general, but about your kind of mind specifically. That's what we're exploring today. And it is going to get uncomfortable before it gets freeing. The exhaustion nobody talks about. There's a version of tiredness that has nothing to do with sleep. You could sleep 12 hours straight and still feel it the next day after a party, or a family dinner, or even just a long phone call. The world calls it introversion, and then moves on like that explains everything. So it doesn't. Here's what's actually happening in the mind of a deep thinker during a normal social interaction. While one person is talking, let's say it's that guy at every office, the one who speaks in very confident half-truths. Your brain is not just hearing the words. Your brain is running a background program that most people don't even know exists. It's scanning the tone. Does what they're saying match how they're saying it? It's catching the contradiction, because they said something different 3 weeks ago. It's noticing the subtext, the thing being communicated.
Yeah, this is what I've said a few times on the channel before as well. I really do notice the nuances between things. Oh yeah, and I think I've written this in a comment before, if I could find it in my YouTube. I would scan through and see if I could do it, but there's a lot of cringe stuff in there right now, so I'd rather not do that. But yeah, I notice a lot more than just the words people speak or even the tone that they speak it, but the speed, what they're not saying, what their eyes are doing, what their body language is doing. A lot. I'm a huge body language analyzer, which is why I like when people have very, well, you don't even really have to have a really expressive model, because I can always imagine what the body is doing behind the model. So even if it's not that expressive, I can usually tell, you know, when people are uncomfortable, or when they read something that's like, oh shit, I shouldn't have read that in chat, or when they just generally don't feel happy. It doesn't even have to have a model that moves a lot, really. It's funny. But I'm a huge body language person. And yeah, I notice a lot of people don't even, you know, have the capacity to go that deep on people, and that sometimes I'm reading too much into it. But like I said before, guys, what I've decided now, you know, just as a decision to make in life in general, is that my intuition is never wrong. And now that I, you know, retrospectively look at that, it is pretty freaking true. If I'm being completely honest with myself, it's pretty freaking accurate. Actually, it's kind of crazy.
It's reading the intention. Are they sharing something, or are they performing?
Yeah, and usually they're
performing.
performing.
Asking a question because they want an answer? or because they want you to be impressed by the question.
Yep, the
Every
mogging.
single conversation,
The mogging, always the
every
mogging.
single one. Multiple layers, running simultaneously, all the time. That is not normal processing. That is cognitive overload disguised as a Tuesday afternoon. The more a man has in himself, the less he needs from the outside. Arthur Schopenhauer. Schopenhauer wasn't being edgy or unsocial when he wrote that. He was describing something mechanical. The richer the inner world, the more it generates its own content, its own questions, its own satisfaction. The outer world becomes loud, not stimulating, crowded, not comforting. The tragedy, and this is the part that makes people feel genuinely unseen, is that this exhaustion is invisible. You look fine at the dinner table. You answer questions. You try to laugh at the right moments, but not Evie time. You are, by all external measurements, present. But internally, you are working a double shift. Your conscious mind is there, and your analytical mind is 3 layers below it, annotating everything in real time, and nobody sees that. Nobody thanks you for it. Most people don't even believe it when you describe it.
Yeah.
They just say, "You think too much."
Yeah, that's all in
as
your
if that
head,
is a
buddy.
character
Chill
flaw and
out.
not
Stop
simply
thinking
how
so
you are
much, man.
wired.
Yeah.
It's more than an SUV. It's your Chevy Equinox with everything on one screen.
Yeah, I tend to get that a lot when I share what I see, my perspective. But I feel like this channel being a safe space for me to just understand myself. You guys would get it if I said some weird schizo shit that I see, and you'd be like, oh yeah, you know, that's cool. I kind of understand where you're coming from. So I should really be more open to sharing more insights like that I have. Even though I really don't feel like I have
As if
the
that is a
agency
character
to,
flaw and
or the pull to, or you know, even the knowledge too. But like I said, my intuition's always right, and we're in a new phase. You guys know this channel. It's constantly changing. It's constantly altering. So, you know, that's where we're at now. I'm going to start sharing more and more of these random insights that I get from people, you know, from chatters and stuff. And yeah, I realize not everybody on Twitch is definitely my friend. I do have some friends on Twitch. I know, you know, I could name them out, you know, the Ellis, the generic usernames, you know what I'm saying? The Alex, the Adams, the Brandons, you know what I'm saying? There are some friends around, but all in all, you know, not everybody's there to help you, and I'd rather not name the ops. Naming the ops would do more than I need to, right? But there are some good people around, you know what I'm saying? We do appreciate them, you know, and some people are like in the middle where I really don't know what the hell is happening with the entire website, and I had to really get away, because you can't put the fire out from inside the house. And yeah, it was like an eternal party that never stopped, because I don't fucking sleep, guys. I really don't. It's not like, you know, oh, I'm so sad I never get any sleep. It's just, I literally don't need it, you know? I can take you through a day in my life real quick. So I usually stay up most of the night until I can really relax with like a streamer and get like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours or so. Like I think last night I got to bed at around the end of the Prim stream, around like maybe 11 or 12, and then I woke up again at around 2 a.m. and then I just stayed up all night editing videos and stuff. I finished, well, it's rendering right now, so I finished editing one episode together, and then I did another one, like a little music video. So I have about 6 shorts and then another GMV ready, along with the one that's coming out today. So we have a lot in the backlog for that. I really don't think I need to release them like once a week. I could probably do like twice a week or so, but I really want to have those consistent along with the shorts. So I'm gonna have maybe 3 or so shorts on rotation now for the next couple days, and just make 1 or 2 every day. But yeah, I did that, and then I did another episode, which was just like a random Magic Maze thing. The one that I recorded on the day I deactivated, yeah, actually, so I finished up that one. But, you know, I just generally like to do that. Oh yeah, and then I did make a song. I can also play that for you here real quick, guys. But I made the Sonic Rush song. Right there, overthinking. And then we have these thumbnails that I made as well. Yeah, here. So I made these 2 thumbnails. So I'll probably release those on the post today, or I'll put up one on the post today. But yeah, I like doing the creative stuff, and instead of like chilling out in the stream and doing that, I just did it pro bono by myself, and it was, I feel like I worked a lot faster, maybe, I don't know, but it doesn't really matter how fast I do it in my eyes. I like to have fun while I'm doing it. But I realized, you always have to come back to your piece, and it wasn't giving me peace anymore, right? Like why are you gonna cry for like 20 minutes after people talk about your favorite game without you? It's because I really wanted friends, and I felt like, just being there halfway in is just not giving me friends. It's giving me more enemies than I really need. And the whole magic thing really disturbs me with just me equating that to my name. It's
As
really
if that is a
weird.
character flaw
Really
and not
fucking
simply
weird.
how you are wired.
That's what I'm saying. Like, is it a character flaw for me to constantly think people are talking
Here's
about
why.
me, but they're not,
Let's
but they
talk
are, but they're
about
not?
what actually
It kind of
happens.
is, but
Biologically, psychologically,
Easy
when
way
a
to
deep
schizo out.
thinker finally gets alone, the first thing that stops is the scanning. That constant background process,
yeah.
analyzing tone, catching contradiction, reading subtext.
Yeah, so
It
true,
just
so true.
turns off, not because you chose to, because there's nobody there to scan.
Exactly.
And with that, something extraordinary happens. Your mind
Just scan in
shifts
nature,
modes
baby. Just scan in
from
nature.
defensive awareness to creative awareness.
Ah.
In defensive awareness, which is what social environments force on deep thinkers, your mental energy is being spent on protection. Protecting yourself from misunderstanding, from being misread, from saying the layered thing to someone who wants the flat answer, from being honest and watching someone get offended because they only wanted agreement. In creative awareness, which solitude unlocks, that same energy gets redirected, inward, downward, into the questions you've been carrying all week, into the ideas that only half form in noisy rooms, into the version of your thinking that is actually yours, unedited, unfiltered, not yet negotiated with anyone else's ego. All of humanity's problems stem from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. Blaise Pascal. Pascal meant that as a problem, humanity can't sit still. But for the deep thinker, here is the irony. Sitting still in a room alone is not the problem. It's the solution. It's not where things fall apart. It's where things finally make sense. Where the thought...
And this is what really disturbs me about living with people. Like, I love my mom. I love my stepdad. I have a lot of love for them. But, like, honestly and wholeheartedly, guys, I don't mean to say, like you streamers are fucking useless to me, but I could definitely replace you with just strictly music. And I have, because the reason why I really need to, listen to streamers at, like, 9 or 7, around that area at night is because that's when my parents get home. And I can't stand to just hear them in the room just talking. Like, I need that silence when they're at work, and I can just be at home and chilling. And I still like to watch streamers sometimes when I'm at home, but I was basically just jumping through Twitch to support people. I wasn't really like I needed to feed off of your energy, or I needed you to like me, or I needed you to validate me. I was really lurking in streams for like let me view your ads. I don't want the subscriptions to your stupid channel. I want to watch your ads. So. And I think sometimes people kind of want the validation from me in a strange way. It's like me coming in the chat and saying hi is both. It does feel good to me, and I don't feel like it should feel good to me. But, it also feels good to them to say hi as well. I have to realize that although I don't have a lot of pull, I am a content creator still. And me just tagging people makes people realize that and recognize that. And having... my attention is valuable, so having my attention there is valuable to some people, and it sucks when you have to pull it away. But yeah, I gotta come back to my piece because it really wasn't helping me to drain it away in places that really weren't giving a lot back to me. And it's not to say that you have to give things back to people, but it's more of saying like I need to give things back to myself, essentially. Yeah.
You were chasing at 11 p.m. finally completes
I don't
itself,
like treating
where you have
internet
the
like it's
conversation
IRL. It's
you
weird.
actually wanted to have, except
Weird.
it's with yourself. And it's the best conversation you've had all week.
I do
No
like
one
the
is
silence,
projecting
though.
expectations
Very nice.
onto you. No one is subtly competing with you in that irritating way where they pretend they're not competing. No one is trying to extract value.
Yeah.
Your attention, your validation,
oh my God,
your
yeah,
agreement.
Yeah, it's so annoying. Like, you see this in parties in real life all the time where, I just be chilling, talking to somebody, and then a guy will come up and just try to jump in our conversation and completely steal the, not the spotlight, but, jump in to just sort of steer it in a weird way or whatever. And it could be with anybody. It could be another guy, another girl, whatever. And it's like, I don't do that. Like, that's strictly why I don't do that, because it feels weird. to me specifically. And then on streams and stuff, it happens all the time where I just pop up with like a hi or like a redeem, you know, whatever. Some people usually have a redeem that's just like hello, or like I'm embracing the moonlight for Loon Moons or something like that. And then as soon as I do that, somebody's got to jump in with a stream streak, and I'm like, bro, like I and this is why I open the community tab every time before I say anything, because like I know you didn't just get here. It's like, come on, man. Like, come on, guy. Like, what do you... And sometimes people do just get there, and it happens like that. But, like, yeah. And I notice just from my divine timing, sometimes that I just have this magnetic aura that whenever I say hi or something, then automatically a raid happens. And I don't really like raids, you know? I don't really like raids because it's a huge attention-seeking thing. It takes it away from whatever we're doing. And there are very few people that I would actually authentically raid, and very few times, you know what I'm saying? One of my first raid was with Ross, and it was so good. It was probably the best it could ever be for a raid, and it still didn't feel good, you know what I'm saying? It still felt fucking awful, right? I raided during the favorite game of all time, and thank God, you know, that she didn't interrupt the cutscene, and they kind of vibed onward, and then everything was good. But, you know, they fully did the cutscene, because I was just so afraid from playing the song, you know, because it was the break screen or whatever. It was like, I was like, was it the first time I ever did a break? No, because I did Riona before, I think. But yeah, it felt weird to raid into there. I don't think I've ever raided into Riona or anything like that, but it felt weird to raid into there, even though it was, you know, the kind of raid that I would like. And yeah, because I feel like if you're gonna interrupt the whole stream with a raid, it should have some sort of entertaining thing along with it, not just have the person raiding to provide their version of entertainment, because it's not my show, you know, it's not my stream. You know, I'm just bringing people into there to show them you know, I'm bringing people in there for you, so I want you to do your thing and not really put the attention on me or whatever the fuck I was doing. I'm just like, nope, it's good, continue on, please, because that's what I'm here for, you know. I'm not here to jump in your chat or anything. Some people are, but I'm not. I'm just here for the information, the peace, the sound, a lot of the sound, you know, because most times when I hop into streams, it's to drown out everything else, you know. I don't like the social aspect of life. That's the cool thing about streams to me. It's like a false sense of connection that you can sort of easily get. It's what is making, I think, my entire algorithm suggest AI companionship to me. I think that's why, because that's basically what streams are. It's bad, man. It's not real, but definitely use what you need to use. I will say that, you know. Don't be ashamed, man. We're all just trying to survive here. The world's fucked, you know. It is what it is.
Like a vending machine they think is full. Just silence, and your mind finally free. This is where we have to get real, and some people are going to be uncomfortable with this section, which is fine. Discomfort has a way of pointing directly at truth. Most human interactions, most, not all, are running on a hidden script. Let's connect genuinely. The script is much more like, let me get something from this exchange without being obvious about it. Watch the guy who only calls when he needs something. You know exactly who this is. The colleague who is incredibly warm and engaged when they want your help on a project, and suddenly very busy when the project is done. The friend who wants to talk about their problems for an hour and becomes mysteriously unavailable when yours come up. These patterns are transactional, and most people, because they don't see as many layers as you see, don't even notice they're doing it. They genuinely believe they're just being social. They think this is what connection looks like. They haven't examined the mechanism running underneath.
Yeah, this is why my default is always kindness. No matter what, my default always gotta be kindness, man. Because yeah, a lot of people don't adhere to the magic that I have. Oh shit, I accidentally started up the video camera. Well, hopefully that didn't make a video or anything. Yeah, I always default to kindness, because I realize a lot of people don't do that.
They think this...
You know, they just automatically think that the whole world is meant to adhere to them and their wills and woes of you know, what they want, and oh, I need this now, so the world's got to bend to me doing this, and if I don't get this from this person, I'll just go to this other person. Like, I don't care how I feel, honestly. I'm going to give kindness to you. Doesn't mean I'm going to be nice, It doesn't mean I'm going to, sacrifice my entire agency to help somebody, but like kindness first, always, so that it doesn't feel weird when I need something from you, because I've always been kind. And I do really detect when people are just genuine kind souls, and when people tend to just come in with the super nice attitude whenever they need something, whenever something is required from them, or they need like a dedicated thing or a thing. Also, I really hate having YouTube reacts without ads, because if you don't know this, I'll just give you a little YouTube lesson in the middle here. I'll just sprinkle the nuggets into these chats with you guys, just so you get a little bit of knowledge on how this platform works. If you pause YouTube videos and you play them again, you will get more ads. This is just a fact. You will get more ads. They take the time that you pause as video time. So they're probably going to bake an ad, maybe like 2 or 3 more ads into here if I keep pausing. So I'll probably switch accounts or something next time we do a react, and just get the YouTube free trial, because once again, I am very broke. I'm probably going to have to walk to Dunkin' Donuts today, because I don't want to take my car to get my breakfast. And my parents just don't want to buy bagels for whatever reason. So I might actually just walk to the Publix and grab some bagels, get them home. But whatever it is, whatever the case, the whole reason why I'm out here in the first place is because my mom just can't stand, sitting at home and shutting the fuck up in the morning. She has to call somebody. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, man, can I just like chill out without a voice in my ears in the morning that I can't control, right? So she was talking on the phone. I was like, I'm just gonna go out and walk, because I am very tired actually. I didn't really feel like it, but gotta get our 6 miles in eventually. And I'll probably just go home and sleep. I probably actually won't go home and sleep, because I need to finish up that render, upload that. But yeah.
This is what connection looks like. They haven't examined the mechanism running underneath. Deep thinkers see it though. All of it. The subtle competition, the way someone will casually mention their salary or their achievements right after you mention yours. The passive manipulation.
The stream streaks right after I say hi,
Framing the emotional,
and I never show my stream streaks. And that's not like a I'll never show the streamer that I love them. No, like that, you should fucking know that. I show up to almost every stream, and you should just know that I show up to almost every stream if I do, Like, come on, man. It's not that hard to detect that I appreciate you. And I feel like it's a big validation thing, honestly. It's a huge validation thing, actually. When you feel like you have to just hop into every stream and be like, and, they have to say thank you or whatever. It's so like, and that's baked into every fucking aspect of Twitch. This is why I was like, I gotta get out of here. This fire cannot be stopped while I'm actually in here, and it's probably why the fire is here, because I'm in here. I feel like it would be a lot different if I was a Twitch streamer and I didn't watch streams. It'd be a lot different. Be way different. But I like to watch streams. I like to watch them. Like, oh, fucking sue me. Oh no, I like to watch a bunch of VTubers. Oh, I like VTubers. That's my fucking problem. Fuck you. Fuck you.
The person
I'm gonna
who
start
is not
walking.
talking to you but at you,
mad.
narrating their own identity while you stand there as the audience. And here is the part that is genuinely hard. Once you see it, you can never unsee it. There is no going back to the comfortable blur where you just accepted everything at face value. The clarity that makes you see deeply in the good moments is the same clarity that makes the hollow moments hollow. You can't turn it off for the convenient parts and keep it on for the interesting parts. So connection for deep thinkers becomes strained, not because they hate people, but because most interactions are costing more than they're giving.
Yep.
And the mind that overprocesses everything is doing math on that constantly.
I used to want to turn this thing off too, and like, yeah, I'll just turn my brain off during my social interactions, and then it'll just be fine. But like, manually turning off the brain during social interactions is very hard for me. It's very hard, and honestly, on top of that, there's a lot of value that comes from detecting things from people. There's a lot of value that comes from just being a person that can do that and being around, because it stops people from doing the retarded shit, honestly, and it helps others, to see the light behind the natural deceit around people. And I don't have to like explicitly state what I see. It's just an energetic value that I can convince or communicate to people, and it's pretty cool how it works, so I don't want to stop it. I want to help people see through the bullshit, and it just not something that I can keep up all the time, because like I said, I just give a lot and I don't get it back, because it's very hard to find people like this that can heal me You know, that's why I tend to go to the drugs and go to the drinking and go to the porn and the whatever, because like, what the fuck can heal me from this? What the fuck can heal me from this intrinsic value that I constantly have to give if I'm in a space? Like, there's no way I'm not going to be able to give it if I'm in the space. And, you know, I'm in no way getting it back from everybody, because there's no way I want everybody to do this. You know, there's no way I want everybody to be like this super deep thinking, and the world would be fucking awful if it was, right? Imagine that. That sounds terrible. Having a bunch of SSS rank people around. And that's naturally why I tend to reject all of these like places that are like, I have a society that's just built on a lot of deep thinkers. And I'm like, that sounds fucking awful. That sounds like a fucking war zone that I do not want to step into, right? Like, it's one thing if I'm jumping in a room with like one person who's just like, oh, let's talk about this. That'd be cool. But like, I don't want to like whisper a bunch of people to find that. I don't want to force my way into a conversation with anybody, really. I prefer it to flow naturally, because I'm not an enforcer. I'm not a jumping in there motherfucker. You know, I have to let it naturally flow. And with the way things are nowadays, with the way how switchy uppy everybody is, not even women, but guys too, because guys are fucking acting like girls. Let's be real. You know, so everybody's super switchy uppy right now. And you can't really trust if somebody's really a deep thinker or not. Like, people like to put on this fucking mask of deep thinking. And I'm like, bro, you know, I don't even know if I really am this deep of a thinker anyways. You know, for the longest time I did doubt my intuition. But, you know, now that I've lived like this for like over 10 years, I'd say I can wear the identity. And that's the thing, guys. It may seem a little bit rude to say this, but I don't trust you unless I hang around your energy and it stays consistent for maybe like 4 or 5 years. I'm just gonna be completely real with you, because I've seen too many things. I've seen too many occurrences where people just switch the fuck up, and I'm like, whoa, where did this come from? And it was always there, my friend. There are no true colors, okay? There are 0 true colors, okay? There's a nature that you are, and eventually you'll be able to detect it, right? Eventually. But a lot of times we're blind to it because we don't trust ourselves. And that's what this channel is for. It's no longer understanding, I'm just trusting now, baby. We know what the fuck we are.
Solitude starts
we are in the
like
trusting
loneliness,
stage.
and more like an honest accounting. There's a word for what
Open this up,
happens
Paul.
when you're alone. When your thoughts stop being interrupted. When your attention isn't being sliced into 17 pieces. When no one is waiting for you to respond in the next 3 seconds. Continuity of self. It sounds abstract, it is completely real. In social environments,
Let's turn the volume
especially
up a
for
little
deep
bit.
thinker, you become different versions of yourself. Not fake, exactly, but calibrated. You are the slightly simpler version at the work meeting, the more guarded version at the family dinner, the don't go too deep right now version at the party, where someone just wants to talk about last night's game. Every room asks you to leave a piece of yourself at the door, and sometimes you do, because you've been burned enough times by going full depth with someone who just wanted surface-level pleasantries. But all those pieces you leave at all those doors, where do they go? Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens. Carl Jung was describing exactly this. The self that you present outward is edited, negotiated, socially managed. The self that exists when you look inward, when you are alone, undisturbed, not performing for anyone. That is the one that is fully assembled. That is the one that holds all the parts together, and deep thinkers feel this acutely, more than most, because the gap between the public version and the private version is wider for them. The inner world is richer, more complex, more
I can definitely
honest,
say that.
and the outer world keeps asking them to shrink it down to something palatable. So when you are alone...
Yeah, I don't know. See, that's the thing about this online world, though, because I don't know if you guys are really asking me to shrink it down anymore. Like, I still shrink it down because, like, the real world, the IRL world, because I didn't really, like, have a friend group. All my friend groups I've really had are from work. Or, you know, like a club or something that I was in that I had to adhere to or whatever, you know, like a volunteer service or something. Or, you know, sometimes I have, like, a music collective. But even when I have the music collective, people really don't, like, let me lead it. Like, I think I've mentioned this before on stream. I don't know, but back when I was sort of trying to start, like, a whole music group and stuff like that and lead people into making our own music and stuff, I was like, no, yeah, when we're here, we're only listening to our music. We're only listening to our stuff, the original stuff that we make in this room. blah, 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 yada, 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 right? And people rejected that. People were like, oh, I don't know if I want to only listen to our music. What are you talking about? I want to listen to other stuff. And it's just the small things like that where it's just like people don't trust my judgment. Like, you guys know me. On this channel, we don't listen to any other shit that I don't make, you know? We don't. And even still, I get DMCA'd every day because it's not like, oh, it's a mashup, so it's not like you're... But with the way the music industry is going, soon, my friends, soon, nobody's gonna own anything because of soon. You know what I'm saying? Because they're using the same music that I'm using, the same exact shit, you know? So, who cares? I have fun making this. So I give no shits who is like, oh, I gotta do this, yeah, we gotta go, you know, AI is gonna take over the entire industry. It really is. And then eventually, you know, nobody's gonna have any music that actually matters or exists, you know? It's all going to be just generated slop, that it's all perfect. People are going to value, even if it's made from pieces of other things, right? Because that's what the AI is, it's using that data. But people are going to value things that are just handcrafted. You know, and people who can go into a DAW and make something, you know, something listenable. It doesn't have to be great. And as a matter of fact, it's good if it's not great because AI is going to make the perfect shit. I don't want it perfect. Why would I want it perfect? If I want it perfect, I could type it out. I could type it out and then it's perfect, you know? I don't want it perfect. And you'll see from this one that I made today, it's not perfect. It doesn't sound perfect. It sounds pretty choppy. The mix is not really that well, but you know what it did? It was fun. It took me 15 minutes. And while my mom was yelling on the phone with whoever the fuck she had to talk to at fucking 6 a.m. in the morning, it felt good to just drown it out with the music. And that's my therapy, man. My therapy is action. Okay, I don't benefit from talking to people. I'm sorry. Like I am man. I am stupid meat brain. I benefit from doing shit. I don't benefit from talky. This stupid talky that people do. It pisses me the fuck off. It really does. I need the silence. I fucking crave the silence. I crave the back rooms. I yearn for it. Okay, if I could stay there forever, I fucking would. Which is why I'm so glad. You'll see, guys. When we move, you'll see. It's like I'm so glad for this fucking box that has been bestowed upon me. I'm incredibly grateful, and I don't know how many people would actually be grateful for a situation like this, but it's probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. And I say that a lot. I say that a lot, honestly, because I lived a good life. I feel like I've only gone up, and everybody's like, oh, you bounced back. You did this. You bounced up from this. I'm like, no, man. It's always been a progression of upward to me, in my eyes. And I don't know how other people view my life, but it disturbs me to hear that. You know, to hear people saying like, oh, he's down, or he's up, or he's whatever. And it's all their perspective. But from me, it's like, I'm not dead. You know, I grow taller every day. You know, my dick getting bigger. My confidence getting larger. You know, what the fuck else? What am I losing here? You know, where's the fault? Where's the lie, baby? Where the lie? Damn, this was supposed to be a short reaction. This is not short at all.
You are not imagining.
I have too much shit to say, man.
You are not being dramatic. What you are experiencing is the simple fact of your identity being coherent again. Not split across 7 different social contexts. Not filtered through 7 different sets of expectations. Just whole present yours. That is not isolation. That is reunion.
The paradox. There is the other ad. See, that's what I'm saying, man. The ads will just come constantly if you're here and pausing the video a lot. They're just gonna bombard you with ads on ads on ads.
On Disney Plus.
Right.
That is not isolation. That is reunion.
Ooh, that's a little loud.
Here
Paradox,
is something
here we go.
important, because this is the part that gets misread constantly. And it leads to a very unfair reputation.
I'm gonna speed this up because we are
Deep
taking a while.
thinkers do not hate people.
I'm not gonna double speed, I'll go 1.5.
Read that again, because the world will try to tell you otherwise. It will call you cold, distant, difficult to reach, a little too intense, too quiet, too much inside your own head. What deep thinkers actually reject is not people. It is noise disguised as connection. It is busyness disguised as depth. It is agreement disguised as honesty. Those are different things, and conflating them.
I think that's why I like to lurk. That's why I hate hearing like the sounds of my mom talking to people on the phone. That's why I don't like texting people, like, you know, sending text to talk to people in general. That's why I don't even really like phone calls. If I'm being real with you guys, there's not much connection that I really value more than just sitting down face to face and talking with somebody. And it pisses me off that the only way I can get that now is with a goddamn therapist. Because nobody actually wants to sit down and talk to me. Because I'm too attractive, I'm too amazing, I'm too sexy of a goddamn beast in order to mog me and treat me like, oh man, he ain't shit. We can't let him know that he's that amazing. I gotta put him down a peg. Nobody wants to accept what I have to offer because they feel like they're gonna have to give something else in return, and you don't. I don't want that. Validation is trash if you can't give it to yourself. And luckily I can. I'm gonna get off the main street here so we get a little less noise. I know it sounds very loud here. Sounds very dark loud. Okay.
It's how the world misunderstands this kind of mind entirely. Because here is what happens when a deep thinker finds real connection. Genuine, unhurried, intellectually alive, emotionally honest connection. They are completely different. They light up, they open. They can talk for hours. They become the most engaged, most present, most giving person in the room. The problem is that this kind of connection is rare. Genuinely rare. Not because people are bad, but because most people have never been taught to go deep. They were rewarded their whole lives for being agreeable, entertaining, and low maintenance. They learn to skim. So the deep thinker becomes selective. Not unsocial, selective. The way a person with a refined palate becomes selective about food. Not because they hate eating, but because they've tasted what real flavor is. Yeah. And they cannot pretend the flavorless thing is satisfying anymore.
Yeah, I don't hate people. I just hate most people who
looks like solitude,
have zero
because
agency.
The alternative is performing connection they don't feel. Draining their energy in conversations
Zero
that leave them
depth.
emptier than silence would have. Solitude is not the rejection of people. It is the refusal to settle for the idea of connection when the real thing is not available. The cost.
Yeah.
And this is the darker
Intangible
part.
connections.
There is a
Go
cost
look at
to
the
seeing
video. Go
clearly.
look at the
And
video.
it would be
Intangible
dishonest to talk
connections.
about solitude and depth without naming
I don't know if I released that one yet,
you know
actually.
what it feels
Hold
like
on.
to be in a group of people,
I don't know if I released that
laughing,
one.
moving, talking, and to be standing inside it like a stranger behind glass. Everyone seems to have gotten some manual at birth that told them how to just be there without analyzing it, how to enjoy the surface, how to not see the thing underneath the thing.
There is a video?
And sometimes, more often than you'd like to admit, you wish you could do that too. You wish you could sit at a party and not notice that one person is performing their happiness a bit too hard, that another is subtly dominating every story, that the laughter has a slightly hollow ring, not mean, not fake exactly, just thin. You wish you could turn off the part of your brain that keeps annotating reality, but you can't. And that inability, that gift that is also a burden, follows you. Conversations feel repetitive, not because you've had this exact conversation, but because you've had this exact structure of conversation 100 times. Same surface topics, same deflections, same patterns.
No,
The
I
words
did.
change, the shape stays the same.
I did.
You
I had
find
to.
yourself struggling to explain why you're tired when you haven't done anything physically demanding. You find yourself switching off mid-interaction, not because you're rude, but because the awareness you're running at takes real energy, and sometimes you just run out. And the loneliness, yes, there is a loneliness here, is not the loneliness of being alone. That you can handle.
Oh, there
that
it
is
is.
your natural
I
state.
literally missed it.
The
It's right here.
loneliness
It's
is
right
of being
here.
fundamentally misread, of being called cold when you are burning on the inside, of being called disconnected when you are the most connected person in the room, just connected to something different than what everyone else is tracking. That is the cost. It is real, and it does not cancel out the gift, but it belongs in the same sentence. Both things are true at once. You don't feel most alive alone because the world is empty. You feel most alive alone because for once, you are not being pulled away from yourself. Every noise, every interaction, every social performance pulls you slightly outward, slightly away from the center of your own mind. And you go because you are human, because you care, because you try. But eventually the pull accumulates, and the distance from yourself becomes heavy. And the only thing that heals it is what it has always been. Stillness, silence, and time inside your own
Always
mind.
gotta go back
Not
to
because
peace.
other people
Can't
don't
find it
matter,
anywhere else. You gotta
but
go back
because you
to it.
matter. Your thoughts matter. Your inner continuity matters. And the world, loud, crowded, performative, brilliant,
Dark
lovely,
loud.
beautiful world, will still be there when you come back from the silence. You will come back clearer, more yourself, more able to give what you actually have, instead of the edited, managed, protected version of yourself. That social exhaustion leaves behind. The most alive version of you was always inside the quiet. It was just waiting for the noise to stop. If this reached something in you, share this with the person who always looks fine in a crowd, but you just know they are carrying more inside than they ever say out loud. They need to hear that what they feel is not a flaw. It is just how their mind is built, and it is worth defending. Subscribe, because this channel goes into the places most content is afraid to go. Not to be dark, not to be edgy.
Okay,
because
guys,
some
so-
minds need a mirror more than they need a...
That's what this channel is. I would say you can definitely subscribe. It is an AI channel. I know how we feel about AI, but you can subscribe. They probably have good topics that they talk about. Well, we'll see if I want to subscribe. I'm just search through the videos. It is let's see, 49K subscribers. Let's go and look at the description here. Yes, of course, it was just created 2025. Good old AI boom. So it's definitely an AI channel from Bangladesh. So, you know, if you want to support the bangers. She talks to people, obsess over loners who leave. Loners and everyone initiates 5 talks to make you a loner. So this probably, it delves into more topics that are kind of like what they just did. So it's probably something that I should jump into because it makes a lot of sense to me. Oh, I watched one of these before, didn't I? Okay, you were damaged before you could protect yourself 8 months ago. I wonder when I watched that. Interesting. Yeah, you know what? I will subscribe. You don't have to. And as you can see, when I watched it before, I didn't, because I was like, it's an AI channel. I have enough AI channels being real. And yeah, it disturbs me a little bit that it's so easy to make them in a way. But hey, if it provides value to you, it provides value to you, right? So that's that. I don't really have much else for you here. We got people staring me down. Good old IRL. We love it. We love it. We love it. Wonderful people. Riding some bikes, driving some cars. But this is about the end of the stream. I wanted to do a little short react for you guys because I felt like that really related to what was happening recently. And I like to give my perspective. It's not really an explanation on why, but just as my perspective on why I am so comfortable just being a loner, being a lurker in chat, not really talking, staying in the corner of the party. But at the same time, I make banger content. You know, I really see things. I really connect things. And yeah, I'd rather people not know. I'd rather people not subscribe to me. You can. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe. But if this does make you comfortable, you should. If it does make you uncomfortable, you should probably maybe look at yourself a little bit. You know, detect what's going on. If you really need to leave, I understand. You know, we all got places to be. Sometimes it ain't here. Appreciate you spending your time here with me, though. That's cool. You're cool. We are cool people, indeed, indeed. And yeah, just in general, you have to accept yourself. You have to. That's what we're doing now. Like I said, we're in the accepting phase of the channel. I understand enough, right? We get enough. The awareness is fucking killing me at this point. And some people can handle it. Maybe in the future, I'll be able to handle more awareness. But for now, I'd like to turn it off. I'd like to turn it off with a nice, comfortable streamer. But I cannot. I cannot. The world's giving me a lot of signals that aren't really good for me right now. So with that, I will leave you. Once again, I'll probably be coming online a little later today with maybe some gaming. If we don't do the actual game, MMO, Dragon Quest X, I have no idea what this channel is about right now. If we don't do the actual MMO, we'll do the app, and I'll probably just chill on the porch or something. But yeah, thank you for stopping by for the reacts. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a little fun. I hope you woke up. Get the crust out your eyes, bitch. Let's listen to some music as we leave. I made this morning, like I said, overthinking right there. Thank you, Esperload, for the stream. Thank you.